On the way to Jerusalem, Jesus was going through a region between Samaria and Galilee. As he entered the village, 10 lepers approached him.
Keeping their distance, they called out, saying, "Jesus, Master, have mercy on us." When he saw them, he said to them, "Go and show yourself to the priest." And as they went, they were made clean. Then one of them, when he saw that he was healed, turned back, praising God with a loud voice. He prostrated himself at Jesus' feet and thanked him. And he was a Samaritan. Then Jesus asked, "Were not 10 made clean? But the other 9, where are they? Was none of them found to return and give praise to God except this foreigner?" Then Jesus said to him, "Get up and go on your way. Your faith has made you well." This is the gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, O Christ. All right. A little exhaust for us. There are 2 words in the English language that can change your life. These 2 words can change the nature of the way you relate to other people. They can change the way you operate when you're out doing stuff in the world, whether it's at school or work or with your neighbors or shopping someplace. These 2 words can change the way you even look at the world and interact with it. And the best part about these 2 words is you already know them. Thank you. Thank you. So we can make a lot of this story because there's a lot going on in it. I mean, we could make a point that these 10 people had leprosy and what that meant for them, the way they were excluded and ostracized from their homes, their community, their work, their livelihood, their future. We can make much of the fact that the one who comes back is a Samaritan, who would have been a foreigner, an outcast, somebody people didn't like. The word I always like for that is scum-sucking loser, right? That people didn't like Samaritans. We can make something of the fact that all 10 of them are healed, and it doesn't change the fact that all 10 of them are healed and only one comes back. That alone, in itself, is a pretty good news story, right? They call out for mercy, and Jesus brings mercy and healing. But it seems to me, thinking about this text and talking about it with some of you and some colleagues and just pondering over it all week, the part we get hung up is at the end, right? Where are the other 9? And what's the deal with this one? And it comes down to those 2 words, doesn't it? Thank you. Thank you. So I was reminded this week, you probably have heard this before. I had heard it a couple of years ago when it took place, but I was reminded of it as I listened to a podcast this week. A fellow named Frank Blake, he was the CEO of Home Depot for a number of years. And so a big corporation, right? You got stores just about everywhere, lots of employees, all kinds of communities all across the country. He was the CEO for 7 years. He made it a point, it's estimated he wrote 25,000 handwritten thank you notes over the course of his tenure. And you think, all right, here's somebody with a lot of responsibility, a lot of people to take care of, a lot of logistics to handle, a lot of meetings to work through, and yet this is what he did. He spent his time writing these thank you notes. To the point where he'd write it to the people that worked on the sales floor, people that worked in shipping, people that managed stores, you name it. If he heard about something good they were doing, he would write them a handwritten thank you note. And people liked it so much, they were so impressed by this, a lot of them would take it home and frame it, or there were even some framed behind glass in the stores. And he would go and visit the different Home Depot stores, and people would ask him, okay, who really wrote this? Excuse me, because you had to have a team of people doing this, right? He said, no, This is something I've always done. I learned how to do it early, and it's just something I always do. I hand wrote all those notes. So I did the math, 25,000 over 7 years, it's like 10 a day. All of a sudden, that's kind of manageable. As someone that has a hard time keeping up with the thank you notes I should be writing, I thought about that. I've tried it a few times. One Lent, I made it a point, I'm going to write like 3 to 5 a week. And not just people at church, which is great, but other things I saw going on in the community and thinking about, okay, how could I thank them for that? You get the little hand cramp in your hand, and you got to lick the back of the envelope, and you got to put the stamp on and write the address, if you're me, a couple of times because you can't read it. And it's like one of those things, it's good pain in your hand to do. And every time I do that, I think to myself, I should be doing that more. And if you've ever received a thank you note from somebody, you know it's a special thing, right? Those two words, thank you, they make a really big difference. I know for me, I mean, I haven't kept all the thank you notes I've ever received, but I have a stack of several that I keep in a special place that when I'm having like a really down day, or when I'm having a real down time about the work I'm doing, or I'm feeling really down about the world, they're kind of the things I pull out and look at again, and I'm kind of re-inspired by these two words that are just so important. They're so important to us, and they're so important to God, really. Right? So what I'd like to invite you to do this week, something to think about, something to put into practice. Maybe you want to write a thank you note. Maybe you just want to meet with someone face to face and tell them thank you. But think of somebody that you're grateful for and express it somehow. Actually say the words to them. Thank you for what you do and for being you. If you want to take it a step further, you could find somebody that maybe you don't get along with so well, or someone that rubs you the wrong way, or someone that maybe you only interact with them because they're complaining about something or you're complaining about something. And look for the good in that person and thank them for that. And the third thing, if you really want to get into it, is to pay attention. Because what really changes in the midst of that is you. You start to see the world differently. You start to interact differently. You start to see yourself differently. One of the things that I love about this reading, the reason it comes back is to thank Jesus, but what happens? The relationship continues. It develops. There's another conversation. Thank you are two good and holy words. Use them, and use them well. Amen.